Picture yourself at the threshold of a door. Beyond it is the familiar world of lights, chatter, clinking glasses, and the endless hum of others' stories. You've spent countless nights stepping through that door, joining the parade of noise and faces, convinced that to go out is to be alive. But what if each time you cross that threshold, you were actually walking away from yourself? What if the worst thing you could do for your soul is to constantly seek life outside of yourself, always running toward the next distraction? In the quiet before you open the door, listen to the silence behind you. It's inviting you into a different kind of adventure. It's not out there, it's in here. This is the premise that turns the world you know upside down. To go inward is to embark on a journey far more thrilling, terrifying, and transformative than any party, bar, or crowded event. The worst thing you can do is keep avoiding that journey by going out. Consider the feeling of walking into a packed bar. Music thumps like a second heartbeat. People are shouting to be heard over the bass. You squeeze through bodies, absorbing fragments of conversations, laughter, the smell of alcohol and perfume. Everything feels heightened. You are at once part of something and profoundly alone. The noise drowns the whispers inside you that have been begging for attention all day. Those whispers, your own thoughts, your questions, your unprocessed emotions, are drowned by the collective need to escape. You dance, you drink, you talk. It feels good in the moment, but when you leave, the quiet hits you like a wave. You stand outside, intoxicated by noise and substances, and realize you are more empty than before. You mistake the social adrenaline for fulfillment. Going out becomes a way to postpone sitting with yourself. Each night out is an act of delay. You delay asking yourself why you're restless. You delay facing the loneliness that creeps in when the music stops. You delay meeting your own eyes in the mirror without the haze of distraction. Society tells you to go out. If you don't, you are labeled boring, lonely, a hermit. Our culture equates busyness with success. If you aren't filling your calendar, you must be missing out. Fear of missing out has become an epidemic. You scroll through images of friends at parties, influencers at festivals, strangers smiling on beaches. You believe their joy is real and your quiet is failure. You forget that photos are curated moments. You forget that sometimes people at those parties feel as empty as you do after a night out. The worst thing you can do is chase an illusion. When you go out to avoid your own company, you abandon the very person you need to know. The world outside becomes a mirror reflecting only your surface. You learn to perform, to smile, to repeat stories. You don't learn to listen to the currents of your own inner life. The worst thing you can do is mistake motion for depth. Solitude is often misunderstood. It isn't loneliness, it's presence. To stay in is to confront yourself. It means sitting on your couch and feeling the itch to check your phone, to text someone, to plan something. It means noticing your discomfort with empty space. It means watching your thoughts race and not numbing them. It means listening to your body, hearing its needs, its fatigue, its unspoken wisdom. It means sitting with sadness and letting it speak instead of drowning it with music and chatter. It means allowing joy to bubble up from within rather than seeking it from external stimulation. It means hearing the laughter that arises from a memory, a book, a song in the quiet of your own mind. It means recognizing that everything you seek externally, connection, excitement, meaning, exists inside you, waiting for attention. Picture a night spent alone. You light a candle, sit by a window, and watch the city lights flicker. At first, you might feel restless. You might reach for your phone, but if you sit long enough, something shifts. You notice the rhythm of your breath. You feel the weight of your body on the chair. You hear distant traffic, a dog barking, the wind. You become aware of a thought you've been avoiding. Maybe it's about your job. Maybe it's about a relationship. Instead of running to distract yourself, you stay. You ask yourself questions. You write. You draw. You cook. You explore a hobby. You discover what you like when no one is watching. You discover what bores you, what excites you, what scares you. This knowledge is power. It means you can go out when you want, not because you're afraid to stay in. It means when you do go out, you bring yourself, not a shell seeking to be filled. It means you don't need to chase experiences. You create them. Going out has its place. Humans are social creatures. We need connection, community, celebration. There is joy in dancing with friends, in sharing a meal, in experiencing art together. The danger lies in making socializing the default state and solitude the exception. The worst thing you can do is forget how to be alone. Without the ability to sit with yourself, you become dependent on others for validation. You become reactive, pulled by social currents instead of guided by your own compass. You lose the capacity to think deeply, to feel fully, to hear your intuition. The world outside is loud. It tells you what to buy, how to dress, what to think, to be. To go out constantly is to let those voices drown your inner one. To stay in is to cultivate the voice that knows what is true for you. There is also a practical side to never going out. It drains your resources. The cost of constant socializing, money, energy, sleep accumulates. You wake up tired, your body taxed. You spend money on rides, drinks, outfits. You compromise on sleep, diet, exercise. You sacrifice the foundation of your health. Over time, the excitement fades and the consequences remain. Going out becomes an obligation rather than a joy. You stop asking, "Do I want to?" and start asking, "What will others think if I don't?" The worst thing you can do is live by someone else's expectations. The moment you turn inward, you find the courage to say no. You respect your energy. You invest in yourself. You realize that rest, creativity, and introspection give you something no night out can. They give you a relationship with yourself. The fear of missing out is replaced by the joy of missing out, JOMO. You feel joy at choosing a quiet night of reading over an obligatory party. You feel joy at investing in your hobbies rather than the bar tab. You feel joy at waking up refreshed. You feel joy at knowing yourself so deeply that you are not swayed by trends. You can still go out, but it's no longer the worst thing you can do because it's no longer a compulsion. It's a choice. You go because you want to connect, celebrate, or explore, not because you are afraid of the alternative. When you return home, you are full rather than depleted. You bring stories back to yourself, not to fill a void, but to add to your life's tapestry. Going out is not inherently bad. Avoiding yourself is. The worst thing you can do is to constantly step away from your inner world. The best thing you can do is to balance the outer and inner. Let nights out be spice, not sustenance. Let solitude be home. Discover that the person you've been avoiding at all those parties, yourself, is the most interesting company. They have stories to tell, dreams to share, wisdom to offer. Stop running from your own door. Sit down, light a candle, listen. You will find that the richness you've been seeking in crowded rooms is waiting in the quiet space where you live.